Part of this is part of what we call the UBI, the out-of-box experience in HoloLens. When you first started up for the very first time, we present you with a, you're presented with, well, you'll see in a second what you're presented with, because we'll share it to you. But it's a way, it's kind of cool looking, but it's also a way for us to help with some of the calibration that we do. It's a little bit of a trick that we're using. Part of what happens in the out-of-box experience when you first set up a HoloLens is that we, and bear with me while I get this transferred here, is that we look at your eyes and we recognize your iris. And then we also map your hands and we look at 25 points of articulation on each hand so that we can do the hand tracking. And one of the ways that we do that is that we present you with this neat little character that I'll show you right now. So let's go ahead and switch back to my headset stream. And I think if I turn this way, oh yeah. Oh, you see one of the other things that happens every time I can get a mesh created over here. Every time I tap this, throwing kind of that blanket of polygons over, it's continually doing the spatial mapping of my physical location so that it can do that. So it can world lock these holograms, so it remembers where the real objects are so that it can lock them to that. I placed this floating gem on my desk here earlier, and here it is, and it's world locked right there. And this literally looks like it's in the world right in front of me, and I can reach out and touch it. In this case, it's a launcher for an app that I'll go ahead and launch, and we'll let that load. This one takes just a second to load up. And when it loads up, you see that little transition effect of the polygons. It says, okay, now we're going into an application. In a second, I'll get a splash screen from the developer that built this for us. And here it comes. And there's their little logo. And then what appears, this is the same thing that happens in what we call the out-of-box experience. My sound is not working. Here it is. Okay, so I get you guys may be able to see there's a bunch of pixels in the air, and then something happens, and oh, wait a minute. It's a hummingbird. Now, I can go up to him and look at the hummingbird, and he's a little bit shy. So if he won't respond, but I've learned that this hummingbird will actually respond if I do the right thing that he wants me to do. And this guy wants me to hold my hand out, but not like that. He wants me to hold my hand out like that. Ah, there you go. So when he recognizes the palm of my hand, he will come and hover over it. And if I move my hand, he'll fly over to where I move my hand to. And that's pretty cool. So this is not doing what I was talking about. But if I drop my hand, he'll go fly back to his roost over there. And then what'll appear are these gems. Now you'll notice that one of the gems starts to spin. It's because I'm looking at it. If I look at the right one, now that one starts to spin. If I look at that gem, it starts to spin. Now I don't have to move my head to do this. It's literally looking at my eyes and tracking where my eyes are pointed. So if I look at one of the holograms and say the word pop, oops, there it goes. It pops the gem I was looking at. Pop. I can also say explode. Pop. So that was an example of what I was talking about, where we've fused multimodal inputs. I'm using my voice and my eyes to make the computer do what I want it to do. It's pretty cool. And in this case, we've taken the Wikipedia page of hummingbirds and put it over here. And what's cool is that as I read this, I get to the bottom and it automatically starts scrolling up. Whoa, I'm not doing anything. I want to go back up to the top. I missed the part. I went by it too fast. I can go back up and read again. So this is an example of the system using my gaze, where my eyes are looking, as a mode of input into the computer. And it works really, really well.